Electric rails light up the night, zooming fast, sparks so bright. Saw these worlds, a pixel dream. Colors flow, screen to screen. Power up hearts and stars, riding tracks, sparks flow. She's the master of this channel, controller firm in her hand. Ride the rails through the light, express conductor, take flight. Show your colors, game so sweet, every level can be beat. Glowing worlds at her hands, bright horizons, tech and sound. Magic voyage all around. Epic journey, bright and bold, solve a story to be told. Digital heart full of pride, in this world she can't hide. Level up, break through the walls, every move she stands tall. Pixels paint her glowing way, through the night and into day. Revel up, break through the walls, every move she stands tall. Pixels paint her glowing way, through the night and into day.
Welcome aboard, everyone! And thank you for the headbands! Let's see, in order of appearance, and I may be getting this wrong because I'm looking at multiple chats here. Let's just go starting with the platform that I started out on. So going from Twitch to the next best platform, which is Rumble, and then Kick. So, in order of appearances across all three, hello Shadow, hello Math, hello Sedfield. Hope I'm doing well and having a good day. Oh, I am having a good day, thank you. And Shadow, have a good lurk. Hopefully that doctor's appointment goes well. Anyways, hello everybody. Let's see, I am being heard, right? Okay, yes, I'm being heard. Oh, I forgot to turn on one specific thing here. Ah! Hello, Takashi. Where is the thing for that? I guess I don't have it shown there, okay. Anyways, So chat, tonight's music is brought to you by White Bat Audio. I think that's what they're called, right? Yeah, White Bat Audio. You can find them on YouTube. That's where we're playing this from. On the Rumble side, you should have a link in the description going to it. And as for Twitch, I kind of forgot to put the command there. Actually, let me see if the command is there. Let me check to make sure I'm putting the right command first. Okay, there we go. Now, anyone on Twitch that uses command. But yeah, that is where we are using our music from. And just so that I'm on the same page with all the other platforms that we're on too. Let's see. Again, I already have it set on the Rumble side, hopefully. And then for those of you on Kick, there's the link to the channel that we are using the music from. Anyways, tonight's session is going to be a multiplayer session. Or at least it's multiplayer enabled, I should say. Right now there's one person who is definitely allowed to come on. I did put in the station Discord if anyone was interested to let me know so I could send them the info. So who knows, maybe we'll get that throughout the night, I don't know. Anyways, tonight's goal. We're just gonna be working the line now because we have the line pretty much done. We have the main line right here. It's quite a long main line, not gonna lie. And then we have a second portion of the main line that I call the inner loop. All the industries are hooked up. We can now work in any three of the production branches here. I think there's still like storage that I gotta make for the gold mine. Yeah, I still gotta make storage over here. But I have like an idea of how I want to do that. So like we're gonna have like over here is gonna be where like the empty gondolas are dropped off. And maybe the ready to go ones. And then I want to use this little valley right here as storage. How's it going, train nerd? Oh, it is going wonderful. No, fun fact, I almost forgot about my voice. I almost forgot to turn my voice on. So for those of you that are not aware, I do use a voice changer. It's mostly from, you know, my own online protection and whatnot. Although I'm not gonna lie when I say that my real voice has gone out. It has gone out on the Twitch side at least, and I believe some of the earlier YouTube VODs. Like I'm not gonna hide shit. But yeah, just so that everyone is aware, if for whatever reason you were not aware, in which I'm actually gonna have to modify the Rumble descriptions to also make this fact known that I use a voice changer. But yeah, the voice changer is pretty much just for the character. Wow, what the heck? This thing's not pouring its fast. do you start a train? It depends on the train. For the trains that we're going to be using tonight, we gotta basically start them up from a cold start. And the way that we do that is we put some wood or coal, depending on the train, into the firebox and start heating it up. Then as it heats up, it will use some water that's stored in the tank to produce steam. And we will use the pressure that is made from that to help propel the engine. Now we're right next to Brene, who is a coal-powered train. It is a Cook Mogul from the DSPNP. I forget which railway that was. Anyways, let's turn off fly mode so we can come up here. So right here we have the firebox. Right now, there's nothing inside. This is a coal-powered train, so we're gonna be using coal here. Now we just gotta wait for the train to pretty much get some pressure made. Last time that we streamed this game, I did not empty out the steam pressure. So we are able to move. We can move if we want to. It'll be easy to just go to this view, I think. Let me move the kit chat so I can make sure. Okay. So I'm gonna be blocking where the most prior portion is and probably the minimap. Okay, I'm blocking part of the minimap. But directly behind me is the speedometer. On the speedometer, it also says what the temperature of the wire is as well as the fire. Unfortunately, because I'm in the way, you guys won't be able to see that. It also gives me an idea of how much coal or wood is left. They got some hyper trains in this. The ones that have the zoomies, some of them do have zoomies. Like some of them actually do start up really fast. Oh, that's right, I don't want to bring this up, man. So our first trip, we're just gonna pick some logs, which, well, first we gotta actually hook up to the log train here. Then bring us over to here to load it up. And then we're gonna take them over to the sawmill. Let's see, I think this is almost ready to go. I did unhook that, did I? No, I don't think I did. Well, no, I did. Okay. It looks like we are now hot enough to retain the boiler pressure, so that's good. Now, I don't know if, the Back to the Future train is, one of the train models available for us to use here. Obviously, it won't be the Back to the Future iteration of it. So it won't be the time machine version of it, is what I'm trying to say. But I think one of the trains may be very close to it. I would definitely love to have a mod that does bring it into the game though. Cause that would so drive that. Now I do have like a bowl of ramen with me today because my throat is starting to get sore. So I figured to help ease it, I would have some ramen. They have a reverse, yes. I think most trains have a reverse on them. And they're just as good going backward as they are going forward as well. Of course, it also depends on like where the train has its consist connected. So like, for example, with where we are, we actually do have to be more careful going in reverse because because the cars are being pushed on. Because the consist is being pushed instead of pulled, there's a chance that we could accidentally push a little bit too hard and the consist will derail. Yeah, man, I didn't go far enough. The hell was that? Oh, was it because it was entering the, Ellen? Now keep in mind, chat, this game, I would definitely recommend you guys to get it. At least to try it. It is available on console. Let's see, how many people are run over by trains a year? I don't know, actually. I'd have to look that up. But it's definitely not as often as, it's not as many as, it's not as many as people getting run over by cars. And trust me when I say this, I would not, 10 out of 10, would not recommend getting ran over. Because I wasn't always a cute little anime girl. Some of us get isekai, the guy did. How do you not see them coming? And actually, it's really easy to miss a train, by the way. Because trains are actually surprisingly silent. Especially if they are in a area that restricts the use of the horn. Oh, they are definitely loud, but you're not going to hear them until they're like fairly close though. Oh yeah, trust me when I say this. They are more silent than you expect them to be. Especially when they're going slow. Welcome aboard! Nope, you're out of here. Of course, every freaking follow, except for like one follow that I've done on Kick, is a freaking robot. That's why I hesitated before saying anything about it. You're not a bot. A bot wouldn't troll as good as you. But yeah, I would love to just get rid of all the bots that are currently following my tech account. Hell, ChatGPT would probably roast that bot better than I can. Okay, let's make sure all the switches are set going forward. At least the ones that we care about. But yeah, like, I'm honestly ready to just give up on Keg. Cause like, every follow I get on Keg, it's just a bot at this point. Between Heist and Breaking Bad is sick. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen that show. But it probably is a badass scene though. Cause like from what I have heard, it's actually a really good show, I just haven't seen it. The Heist missions in Red Dead? Which Red Dead? The first or second? Oh, the other first one. Same with Better Call Saul. That was my little first one, though, okay. No, I do have Red Dead Redemption 2. I never really... I've basically only played Red Dead Online. And as much as I love it, I'm just sad that Rockstar has essentially given up on it. The first one's better? I'd have to get it. But yeah, I do have Red Dead Redemption 2. I just only played online. And I love playing the online game mode for it. I love doing all hunting that because that was pretty decent. And then the modders came. Honestly though, I think I had more fun on Red Dead Online than I did with Grand Theft Auto. You never like Rockstar's online games? Yeah, that's fine. I do have quite a bit of progress on my main character for Grand Theft Auto Online. For GTA 5, that is. But because I don't want to deal with the modders and such, I always just stick to the private lobbies. I got a mod for Red Dead Redemption 2 though. That interestingly enough, you could modify something with that and have your own private public lobby. Did I ever undo the break? I think I did. slowing down. I shouldn't be slowing down. At least not that fast anyways. No, it did undo the brakes. Huh. Maybe it's just drag then. Do I need a fancy license to operate? Not with this game. Because the point of this game is to actually drive the trains and such. Like make the lines, drive the trains. He's kind of acting as if he already had the license. Oh, IRL? You definitely need some certifications for sure at this point. At this point, you would probably definitely need some certification. I know recently, for example, the passenger service bright line in my area, they've been recently hiring for conductors. I think the FEC was as well. The FEC being for the East Coast. And surprisingly, their conductors are actually quite different. Like conductors for freight trains are different than conductors for passenger services. But yeah, I think for anyone to actually be the engineer or to either be the engineer or conductor, I do think you need to have at least a certification, like an official one. I don't know the process just yet of getting one though. Well, I would love to. Wait, maybe I could just go over here and just... Yeah, I could just do from here. Now, fun little fact about these turntables. The real-life versions actually needed people to push against the big wooden poles that are sticking out. And while it's not simulated in the game here, you do actually have to worry about where the train is positioned on the turntable. Granted, I don't think it really matters in this game, because it looks like this one's set up to, try to keep it straight. We're gonna get some more of these finally. Would I be able to pull off a heist? What, you mean in real life or in this game? Because if you're talking about this game, that wouldn't really be a thing. Like, outside of roleplay, it would not be a thing in this game. But if you're going with IRL, I would not recommend it, plus I don't think I'd be able to anyways. How much water do we have? Okay. I think we're gonna stop at the water tower on the way back to the logging camp. See that chat message, just give me a moment because I'm trying to line this up. Did I put it? Okay, yeah, I put it close enough. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so let's see what in your area. They have a steam engine show every year. You can't remember what it's called though. It's kind of cool to see all the... Oh, that actually is kind of cool. That's pretty cool, not gonna lie. I wish my area had stuff like that for like trains. But I think probably the closest spot that would do that here would probably be a little bit further north from where I am. Then almost on the west coast. And I'm talking about the west coast of Florida. Because I believe the nearest railroad museum is up in Parrish. I think that's the name of the city. Hold on, let me look this up real fast. Let's see, go to the west coast here. Up in the Tampa area. Well, what was it called? Yeah, I think it's called Parrish. There's a railroad museum somewhere in that area. And I actually want to go there too, at some point. Yeah, it's right off of Highway 301. What road is that? Well, it goes along the area road, so... That's something. Damn, that's kind of a long route. How far does it go? Up to Willow Yard, okay. You know, that's kind of cool. So the Railroad Museum has a yard that's over in Willow. And what's on the other end of this line? I can't tell if that's not even oh, I guess it's not there. Or maybe it's just really poor resolution on Google Maps. Well, how far does this go? Oh, that's a decent amount of time. Oh yeah, that's a decent amount of track at least. Oh wait, that's a diesel engine. I guess the heritage track there also goes on to one of the main lines. Or a branch line, for which company? Probably CSX. Oh, God, that would be something for me to go see though. Okay, what jets have I missed? Cause in your area you get jet shows at the beach? Oh, same in my area. Like, there's actually one every year at the, I think there's... I want to say there's one that's down in the Miami area. I don't know about the West Palm Beach area. And there's definitely one that's out in the Fort Lauderdale area. Do the trains have transmissions? No. At least not the steam engines here. The ones that might would probably be the ones that are, the ones that have like a drag train type of deal. Like the, for example, the Shade, they might have gears inside of the... They might have a transmission. But I don't think they do. I don't think they do. Although, probably the closest to a transmission would be, the reverser. So I can get this to stop. Okay, that's a regulator, so I'll take the throttle. Oh, the reverser's right here. Like, this would probably be the closest thing to a transmission. So I can go like full forward, basically, or full reverse. And then at zero, it's just like a neutral. So yeah, the reverser might actually be like the closest thing to a transmission. And with steam engines at least, depending on where you have the reverser, you can actually get more speed out of the train. Like right now, even though my head is blocking it, we are going at just under 25 miles an hour. What happens if the rail is bad? Does everyone die? No. Not every time something like that happens. Because of how long trains are, it would have to depend on how long that dead rail is. Like if it's a small bend, it might be like a small bump. But you would still have to be careful with it. And I know that, I know that the rail companies these days, I actually try to keep that to a minimum. Cause I think the main source of bent rails would come from just the warping of the metal itself. Mainly because of like heat expansion and whatnot. Because the sun will just be beating down on the rails all day long. And naturally, because the stuff is heating up, it will try to expand. Now, you won't really have to deal with that as much these days because, what about the logs? Oh, you mean the sleepers? Most of them are concrete these days. Most of the sleepers, or the ties as they're sometimes called, they're pretty much concrete these days. But like every now and then they do gotta get like replaced. Cause like either it can be like a damage. Do they just set tires? It's really hard, but it's possible actually. It's really hard for a train to get a flat tire, but it is possible. Cause the train wheel is pretty much all metal. And the only way that these things would become flat is if it's getting dragged and the wheel is not spinning. So, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, because there's a chance that it can happen. But that is, these days, highly unlikely to happen. The only other way would be to intentionally damage the wheel. And even if you do it to one side of it, it will basically cause the entire axle to need to get replaced. Because train wheels comes in sets of 2. They are forcibly in sets of 2. But before we load up this one, let me just show basically. So this set of wheels, this is actually two sets of wheels right here. So this set is considered one unit right here. Because it's the wheel followed by the axle that's directly attached to it. And then the other wheel. So if you were to like damage this one on purpose to make that flat, this whole axle would have to get replaced. Come on, you look dirty. Does not want to go to 30. Whatever, that's the closest I'll get it. Now, surprisingly, trains could actually be quite flexible with their rails and such. Especially if the truck, as this is called, sometimes it's called a bogie. But especially if that's a articulated type of deal. So you can have a track that's going like a really tight turn, and this will be able to, it will be able to do it if we're like careful enough. Am I careful enough? I'm talking about like going the right speed. And for like the engine itself, it's the same deal. But some engines will have an interesting setup with their wheels here. So like, for example, with this Cook logo that we're using, and 2 of the 3 drive wheels here, and 2 of the 3 drive wheels have a flange to help keep the train on the track. But then the middle one here is just like a flat one. Other cars get stuck in their railroad crossway. Most of the time, it's just people being idiots with that. Like the vast majority of the time when that happens, it's just the people in the car just being stupid about it. Now, I'm not going to deny that there are sometimes... I'm not going to deny that there are some legitimate cases where people had gotten stuck on a track because the car, like, either stalled out. Actually, that's the main method. Like, those are the actual true legitimate cases of the car being stalled out. And even then, they could just push it off. Put the car into neutral and push it off. Like, you might need someone holding onto the wheel, but still. Exactly, put it in neutral and push. But in regards to like the crossways or the crossings of Icon, you do not want to be stopped on the tracks at all. If the lights are flashing at the crossing, do not cross it. Well, just wait for the train because the train will be going faster than you think it will be. It's quieter than you would think it would be. You don't know how fast it's going. And more often than not, if you try to beat the train, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. Just look at the recent thing that happened with the firefighters up in what was it, Papano? Because recently, like just after Christmas, there was a issue where there's some firefighters that felt like they were entitled to go across the damn active train crossing. A freight train had just passed by with some oil tankers, and the crossing was still active because there was a bright line passenger train coming the opposite direction. Thank you for the hydrate. But yeah, like some firefighters decided that their time of getting across the crossing was more important than waiting for the damn train to pass by. And while the crossing still had the barriers down, they took the fire truck and went around the barriers just to cross the damn rails. And what happened? They got hit by a train. Because they couldn't bother to wait for that passenger train of all things to pass by. And that's the ironic thing about this, is that it was a fire truck. It was a fire truck that did this. You'd think the firefighters would not risk their lives like that. It's one thing for them to risk their lives when actually dealing with fires and such. But at a railroad crossing, why would you risk your life going around an active road crossing? You are a pizza slice. Oh yeah, at road crossings, if the lights are flashing, don't cross it. If the road crossing has barriers, do not go around the barrier. Because you don't know how many trains are going to be coming by, and you don't know how fast they're going. And then you have idiots that are trying to say, well, why didn't the train just stop then? It doesn't work like that. You thought the lights might go? Not, they're flashing. If the railroad crossing flight lights are flashing, you do not want to pass by it. Only pass by the railroad crossing lights when they're just all off. When they're all off and with the barriers up. For a train to stop and use like 15 miles around the... Yeah, depending on what the train is, like a freight train especially. Especially if it's like a cross-country type of freight train. But granted, today's passenger trains don't need that much room to stop. But they still go pretty damn fast and they still will not stop on a dime like that. Every train needs, I would say, probably at least a mile for it to properly stop. And again, it depends on the type of train as well. The brakes work just like how any other braking system would work. The only thing is that makes trains have a different sort of what's the word I'm looking for here? The only thing that makes train brakes unique compared to like cars and trucks would be that there's so much weight on the train that even if you put the best brakes on it, you will still need a lot of time for it to stop because there's so much weight pushing up against the train. Think of it this way, when the brakes are applied, think of it like, okay, let's just use a really simple analogy here, involving the grocery store shopping cart. The shopping cart, when it's empty, easy to maneuver. You can push it and stop it, pull it and stop it with like no effort needed, right? But then when you fill it up with like a couple cases of like, I don't know, let's say you put some beer in there, let's say you put like 40 pounds of ice in there, because I had to recently get some ice. Let's say you put some, like a couple gallons of milk there because you have a big family. You put in like other things that you need, like cold foods, pastas, whatever. You know how once you have that cart filled up, you need to start using some more force to be able to push it. Like from a stop position, you need to use a bit more force to push it, and then you need to actually use a bit more strength to stop it. It's like that, but on a much bigger scale. In Poland, train stopping distance is 1.3 kilometers. So yeah, it's like nothing but about a mile in the units I'm used to, I think. But yeah, or maybe this will actually make it much easier to understand. You know how heavy a gallon of milk is? Take an empty shopping cart, push it, pull it, then just fill it up with gallons of milk. It will be much heavier once it's filled up with milk. Push it, pull it, you know that you gotta use more effort. A train having to stop is like trying to stop multiple carts full of milk, but on a much bigger scale. Like, that's the best analogy I can really think of that would make it easier to understand. So yeah, a train cannot stop as fast as like a car can. Maybe if it's on its own, it possibly could. Although it will still need a little bit of distance to do so. But when it has wagons attached to it, whether they're full or empty, the more weight that's on those wagons that will be pushing up against the train as it's trying to stop will affect how much room it needs to stop. If it's like a 80-car freight train, for example, going at, let's say, 80 miles an hour, that's going to need quite some distance to stop. Especially if it's full. Now, thankfully, with today's train wagons and such have the air brakes and such all across them.
Go stretch!
Are all railroads connected? No. Some railroads are actually like privatized railroads. Thank you for the hydration head, that's cool,
Water BROUN Choo ha a T2.
But yeah, as for all railroads being connected, maybe to an extent they might be, but not all of them do have connection to each other. Like there may be some railroads that are like a heritage railway, for example, might not be attached to like the main line that's going across the rest of the country. In which that would be why sometimes, although rarely I think these days, You might see a train being hauled by truck. And that would just like help move it onto like a different railway essentially. But I think generally they probably do have connections to each other. It's just that they can't just freely go onto each other's railways sometimes. Like for example, I don't think CSX, for example, can go onto the rails owned by Brightline, for example. At least not without the two companies making an agreement between each other. And it's pretty much the same thing going the other way, where like, for example, Brightline can't go onto like CSX's track. In fact, that's actually a perfect example as well, because while CSX does have a presence down here, in which I actually just saw one of their trains today, actually. It was only 2 wagons, but still. But yeah, so CSX and the FEC have a rail presence down here. But you will never see the FEC on CSX's lines, and you won't see a CSX on the FEC's line. The only time that you would be if there's an agreement, and in that case, it would only be to like specific destination. So like CSX would probably get an agreement with the FEC so that they could serve this one industry that's right over here, for example. But they won't be able to go like any further. At least if I'm thinking correctly. Oh, it's raining. But yeah, I think while there are railroads that are completely separate from the normal line, I think probably like, at least for the major railways, they probably are connected. At least for the major ones, maybe. It is, Chet. How are you all doing tonight? I'm gonna be aiming for like a 4-hour stream. We've already been live an hour. Well, an hour and 15 if I include my intro. You're doing work, though. Well, thank you for being here, Rito. Just don't get yourself in trouble, alright? Just chillin', that's good to hear. The boss can also watch. No, hopefully your boss like trains then. Just a word of warning though, I do use language every now and then. I do use language, so you may want headsets. I don't use language often, but I do use it. It does depend on the game for the and now or the languages used. Like for example, if I'm playing Dark Souls, which is gonna be Saturday for example, I have a higher chance at using language with that because of bullshit reasons. Okay, we're gonna get more we're gonna get more log cards. Actually, wait, chat, what should we get first? I feel like I'm missing something. You know, I think I found what I'm missing. We need a shelter for the refinery. It'll just be to help get the trains made and such. So like the drop-offs will be perfectly fine. It's just the making the trains that are going out from the refinery. So we need to get a shelter for the refinery. Then we get one for the, No, we don't have one for over here yet. We'll have to get one. We're gonna have to get a coal-powered one. I think I know what coal-powered engine I'm gonna get. Oh, I just realized. We have a shed for a shelter over here, but we have no way for it to be filled up. I think I'm gonna put a coal tower here, and we'll also use a coal-powered, a coal-powered chain over here. Because the coal line is gonna be, the input for coal is right over here. I think we'll just put like a coal tower like over here somewhere. Or maybe we'll put it over here. Actually, I'm not sure yet. I want to put in a spot where the shelter can fill up though. Because I kind of realized that's kind of a bad spot for a shelter. mean, we can still cut a power here. We need to definitely put a water tower at least. Okay, you know what? We can move this outer track. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, we'll put it like right here, I think. That way a train could come in the normal way. Unload into the coal tower here. We'll also put the water tower over here somewhere too. I'm aboard! Another one? Seriously? Another fucking bot. Yeah, I think I'm done with kick now. Guess it'll be the last streamline kick. Cause it's just fucking bots at this point. Like, it's not even legitimate follows either. Like, there's only been like one legitimate follow. In fact, I think out of all the followers on my account, I think only 5 of them. I think only 5 of them are legitimate. But the rest are just bots. So no more kick as of this point then. Cause that's honestly ridiculous. That is honestly ridiculous. I tried to give kick a good go. But if it's just gonna be bots interacting with me, I'm not interested. I tried to give kick a good go. At this point, yeah, I could kick rocks. Because if it's just going to be robots coming to me advertising review botting services, essentially, I'm just not interested anymore. So this is gonna be the last Shimon kick. I'm going to look into maybe doing YouTube and X streams instead with kick going out of the picture. And at least that way I could use one chat interface. instead of having the two chaps, as you guys can see right there. You know, the one that's didn't over here basically. So yeah, I'm done with Kick now. Last stream on Kick. Cause I can't even get rid of those bot follows either. I can't even get rid of those bot follows. I would like to, but I don't know how I can. At least my follows on Rumble appear to be completely genuine. I know like a good part of you guys are here right now. But yeah, I'm done with just having bots on Kick. On Kick. I'm done with that. I tried to give it a good chance. Well, it's just bots, and I'm not interested in that. Actually, let me, first we're gonna connect this to over there. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh yeah, I'm done with text. It's just bots and I'm not interested in that. Come on, why do you not want to place down where I want you to? Okay, so hopefully that doesn't cause an issue. Although what I could do in this case, just to make sure that there's no actual issue, is to just do it like this. You want to see a train get derailed? I don't want to derail my trains though. And unlike real life, there's not really any dams that shows sadly. Okay, so we'll go up this here. Okay, that looks a bit better. Yeah, that should work better. Let's just put that up so that when we do start loading those, it doesn't automatically start unloading. I don't know how that hasn't caused an issue yet, but I'm surprised. Is there anything else that I forgot to take out? Like that, for example. Okay, let's head over to the depot. Okay, so I need 3 more shunters. I think I know which ones I'm gonna use. I think I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, I think this will probably be the best one to use for those other areas. Is there an underground subway? Not in this game. The subways weren't really a thing in the time period that this game is based on. Now, granted, there were mines. And there are tunnels on this map. But there's no subway system on this game. Plus, you know how toxic it would be to be down there? Okay, so I need 4,000 for one of these. Where are they dropping the New York City subway DLC? Probably once this game is, taking place in modern day. Because, this game takes place in the, it takes place in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And I don't think the subway systems were a thing until maybe the 30s at the earliest, I think. Possibly 40s. I could be wrong on that. Let me look that up. Oh, 1904. Okay, so they could be a thing for this game then, potentially. Because it is in the time frame then. Oh, that's interesting. Wow, yeah, it's definitely the time frame. Well, holy shit. I learned something new tonight. Subways are time period friendly. They are time period lore friendly. Because I think some of the engines in this game are in the early 1900s. Yeah, like this one for example. 1926 for this one for example. So yeah, subway systems were a thing at this point in time that the game is based on. So who knows, maybe there could be in the future. There could be one in the future, because time period wise, it's time period friendly. Well, I'm impressed with that actually, not gonna lie. Although because this game focuses on narrow gauge, I don't know if they will do that. But yeah, that's nice to know. It's time period friendly. How much one is 2703, okay. Okay, so we need to get stuff over here to the gold mine. You know, I could probably expand the yard over here. Yeah, we could probably expand this yard. But that'll have to be like another time. I think expanding might actually be a good idea though. Cause yeah, I want to say that this is a decent sized yard as it is. But for some of these industries, we need like multiple, things for multiple industries. Like the gold mine here, for example, it needs coal for the gold mine. Ah! Hi, Nick. How you doing tonight? But yeah, the gold mine needs coal from the coal mine. It needs... well, it looks like wooden beam from the sawmill. Iron rails from the smelter, and tools from the ironworks. You've been lurking? I hope you've been having a good lurk so far. Yeah, let's see if we can get stuff over here. We need to get more rails and wooden beams, it looks like. It's it? Oh. But yeah, let's see. I have wooden rails that way. But I think I need to get some more flat goods. Yeah, I need to get some more of these. I want to have enough to be able to hold like a full output worth. So that first should need like 6 more, I think. Yep, be right back, chat. Sorry about that, chat. So yeah, I need to get 6 more of these. And the last number was 307. I'm gonna have this be red. Cause why not? Okay, now where is the I really do hate how this game places some of the stuff sometimes. Like, I don't like having to go looking for the thing I just bought. What are those? They're basically flat cars. Is Train 7 fun? It might be in real life. But you'd have to be very careful. And you could probably get in trouble doing that in real life. However, on this game, in regards to train surfing, it might not be as fun as you would think. Because you could just stand on these and the train will just go with you. Okay, so what's the name of the engine that we have over here? Rock hard will have some use again. Oh, did I have to buy wrong stuff for here? We're down there. No, I haven't bought wrong stuff yet. Okay, well, let's see. What would be some, It would have to be this one, I think. We're gonna buy one of them, though. I don't want to buy just one. And those don't take gold, so that kind of... Okay. There's the only other one that is gold, and that does like, what, 3? So I need like 14 more of these in total. For a full train of logs. I'm kind of sad that Rumble doesn't have the same as one of the things that you could choose. Well, it's whatever at this point. Okay, so we're gonna collect those flat cars and those log cars. I think the way that we're gonna collect them is we're gonna hook up to the backside of the flat cars, pull them forward, and then back up to the log car. So we're gonna connect to the flat cars on this side. Pull them forward, connect to the log. I'm thinking the way that we're gonna do this is once we connect them all together, we're gonna jump off those log carts first, but I'm gonna put them on one of the other sidings. I forgot to set the thing. Whoops. I'm busy making a little rant tweet. Oh yeah, there we go. Don't forget to tip my landlords. What do you mean? I don't care what you mean with that. What's the thing in the front for? People know it as a cow catcher. The way I look at it, it just helps push the breeze out of the way. So like for example, if there's someone like laying across the track, this thing could come up to it, albeit a bit slowly. And then using this, it could just push it off to the side. Some people look at this as a snowplow, although this isn't really designed as one. Well, if I had to guess, I would have to say that this is mainly for like pushing debris out of the way. Like big pieces of debris, that is. Have I seen videos of people going on a train? No, and I don't really want to. I would rather not see that. Because that's just flat out dangerous. I know with some trains you could do it. But I would highly not recommend doing that. I highly did not recommend becoming part of the trolley problem. You know, this works out actually doing it this way. Oh yeah, chat, I'm done with Kick. I'm not streaming the Kick anymore until they get their pop-up and fixed. Like, I'd rather have just like no chatting happening than have all these bot messages. I wonder if I could get Rumbot to work at the Rumble Studio. That'd be pretty cool if I could. You know, like a studio? Why? It's working pretty good for me so far. But then again, I'm streaming to multiple places without... Not for you? Okay, fair enough. I do wish I could just have like one global stream key for Rumble Studio. Because as it is right now, I have to generate a new one for every stream I do with it. It's kind of annoying. Thankfully, when I attach other services, it's perfectly fine and connected to them. It's just when I do a stream through it, I gotta do a new one. Like, that's kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm a bit annoyed because now I gotta re-record the outro voiceover. And I just had that thing updated to reflect everything. Oh. Well, I got the script updated at least. Just had to remove some things. Oh, we're about to hit the end. The smelter. Good timing on that part. You know what? Record does not have to do anything. Guess we're gonna use Grenade to load this thing up. And this is just going to be the rails. we're gonna have a full train of rails. Let's see, is there anything that requires or supports up to 100 rails? The answer to that is no. So then I have... What's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this is enough for like one of the industries. That means I gotta get 2 more of those. Let's see, Rambot, Rumble Scooter, is there something for that? Rockhard, shut the hell up with your bell! God damn! Oh, is the plan is not set to repeat? Oh, no it? Okay, so we have a full thing of rails here. We can bring them over to the gold mine. The gold mine and the coal mine, okay. I guess we'll bring them down to the gold mine. Although I kind of want to set up a yeah, I definitely want to get a bigger rail yard. That way we can just have these things like get collected and I get a whole centralized spot, I guess. Well, okay, maybe not centralized, but still. We're gonna need more coal though, that's for sure. Hey chat, where should we take these rails? The coal mine or the gold mine? I think the coal mine might be the more preferred spot at the moment. Because it provides fuel. You have to take care of some things, have a good stream. You'll check back later if you don't make it happen. Thank you, Psychfield, I appreciate it. Oh, you want me to go to the gold mine? I could. Yeah, might as well. You'll help that get started at least. Oh no! We went onto the wrong thing. Good that I noticed it now. Otherwise we'd be doing a long trip around. Of course I'm not paying attention, we go right back to where we were. Good job, me. because I'm trying to look at some other stuff. I really need to get Rumbot written with the followers and such. Like, I got the chat to show up at least. But the other things I don't have shown up yet. Oh, that would make such a good screenshot. Is there a hide UI button? Damn it, it still shows the mini-map. Oh dear, what's the key for the mini-map then? Also what? Ah, there we go. Okay, let's see. What's this paper stuff here? So how do I make use of that? Okay. That's different. Was there any way I could probably, I don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know. It'll have to be something for me to look into. You know, I think we'll probably spend a good portion of time over at the gold mine because I gotta get that storage area set up. Oh, right, I think that was part of the map. enough for some of this silliness. You have a spiral going up there. Or helix, rather. Apparently, one of the silly things in this game is that with the supports of this bridge, apparently you could go through the thin cross beams here, the thin cross supports. You know, those small rods basically forming the X's. You can apparently go through that with the train. That's kind of silly. Although if that's the case, that could provide some extra throughput. Did those things ever break? In real life, I'd assume they do. So, like, it would depend on, like, what's going on. Like, it could be a natural disaster or wear and tear. I don't have to worry about it in-game because the game does not simulate that. But in real life, it would definitely be, like, something that you'd have to do maintenance on. Okay, so what we're gonna do for the storage over here, we're gonna be using bridges, obviously, for this area. I don't know how many storage checks we should use, though. Duh. Some of them missed. Well, I feel a bit rough now. Out of 60, only 49 made it into the unload spot. Okay. I feel a bit robbed. The fact that we had basically one full card that did not get that did not get counted basically. I feel a bit robbed now. I want to say Seer. Funny, I feel a bit robbed now though. A whole car and one rail did not get counted. I don't know, that seems a bit tight still. Oh yeah, that's definitely tight. Although, for the shunter, that should be fine though. That should be fine with the shunter that we have here. Yeah, that should be fine. We just gotta be careful on our way out. Okay, let's see how is this gonna work out. We can have 3 like this for sure. Okay, I don't think that's gonna work. Okay, maybe I don't have as much room as I thought there was. Yeah, I don't think I have as much room as I thought I did. Because I want at least 4 chats here. I might have to go with the 60 here. At least with the curve, it will actually, it will make it at least. Okay, so if I do that... I think if I do it like this, it should be fine. Yeah, for the shunted, that should be fine. I think I'm gonna have to use a lot of screens here. A lot of screens at various turn radiuses. Until it looks good like that. Okay, I think I might be catching a cold. Oh, how is this going to look without too many of these specialty stuff? I wish the game would stop knocking me down like that. There's our train pass.
Hello, hello.
Oh, thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. How you doing, Drummer Boy? I hope you've been having a lovely night so far. Okay, that's looking good so far. They don't know how about me? I'm most doing alright. I think I'm catching a cold though. Then my throat's getting sore. I don't like having that gap there. Okay, I could tolerate a gap like that. No, Chad, I think this looks pretty good. I think this looks pretty good. You just gotta put in the buffers. Yeah, I'm looking how this looks. Okay, so we're just gonna have one zone audio over here. Okay, now that's looking good. Thankfully, the little stone ledge there doesn't interfere with the trains. Now, just as the thing of just wanted to test it, can we bring that train in over here? Looks like the switches are already set for it. Which is a bit interesting on its own. So yeah, we're gonna see how this works. We're gonna pretend that these are the gondolas. Now how the storage area is gonna work. You will have empty gondolas on the tracks over here. The shuttle that's over here will grab those gondolas and bring them here to load them up. And then when they are loaded, he will then shut them into a siding over here. I think you may want to turn that train around. So we gotta be careful right here. Because I don't know if this train can handle that curve. And I'm talking about the locomotive itself. Okay. That's not too bad. That wasn't too bad. Now we will be having gondolas there though. And pretty long ones at that. I think they might be a little bit longer than these flat cars. Oh yeah, it's nice to know that I can keep the chain in here at least. We're gonna take these back to the ironworks now. Cause I'm satisfied with what we have there. Let's see if this is too tight for us to get out. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. We'll then set that reverser to 30. Because once we get over the gear, we shouldn't start cutting downhill. You know, I kind of want to try setting something up with those supports over there. Let me see if this silly thing down thing is actually doable. Oh my god, it might actually be doable. It might not be doable after all. And why is that? Could it be the lack of supports? Thank you for the link. Oh yeah, could it be the lack of supports? I think it might be. Okay, what if I do a steel under a steel? I could probably do it. Where's a spleen? Okay, there has to be another spleen. There is another spleen. Where is it? I refuse to believe that that this point lies all the way over there. Well, it looks like that might be doable, though. That might be doable, actually. It's a bit of a silliness, but it might actually be doable. Okay, let's take these back over to the smelter. Let's break a bit. Alright, we gotta light up the gold mine. I forgot about that. Oh, that was weird. We are about to run out of coal inside of the fire blocks. I wonder if we have enough to get back to the smelter. how do steam trains work? Well, you gotta put a combustible substance like coal or wood. Some steam trains are actually able to use oil as well. Oh yeah, you heat it up. It then heats up basically a giant water tank. That water tank then becomes steam. It goes through a bunch of pipes to help build up like boiler pressure and such. And then that pressure from the built up steam is what is used to help move the train. So pretty much you're manipulating the pressure buildup from the steam. Oh yeah, that's why steam engines have like water tanks and such. Some steam engines have the water tanks within the locomotive itself. Others like this one have a small water tank, but they have a much bigger one inside of the tender. If you didn't know it, you'd say that unlike trains. What? No, Nick, you are absolutely right. I wish it would work for the PNG form. I really do wish it would work for the PNG form. Are steam engines strong? Hell yeah, they're strong. They're some of the strongest vehicles in the world. Hell, even today, steam engines are still proving just how strong they are by helping even diesel engines that are struggling. Yeah. Yeah, really. There's a Thomas and Friends story on the inside of the books called the Railway series. That's what the show is based off of, is the Railway series of books. There's a story about how a diesel engine basically stalled with a full goods train, I think. One of the steam engines came by, I forget which one it was. I think it may have been like which one was it? I want to say it may have been the one that's called Edward. I don't know. If Chain Buff is here, he'll probably know better than I would. But there was a steam engine that came by, and not only were they following what I am assuming to be a passenger train, but they also pulled that freight train too. Diesel and all. And I believe that was actually based off of a real story. Or a real event, rather. In fact, there's a short that I shared recently. There's a short that I recently shared. Where did I share it? I shared it somewhere. I think it was on Twitter. Well, made it to the logging camp so far. Our firebox is cooling down, but we made it to the logging camp so far. Yes, yeah, I must have shared it on Twitter. I'm pretty sure I did. Where the hell did I share it? I thought I shared it, what the hell? Oh well, I think I put in my likes at least. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Awesome, we made it to the smelter. You did good, Brene. I think I'm also gonna get off so that I can see to the sore throat. But hold on, let me see if I can find that video for Ritual Fast. Was this the video? Okay, yeah, this was the video that I saw. Chat, I want to show you guys this. And then we're gonna call it a night. Let me pause the music. Did I have any chocolate milk tonight? I had some. But nature did not have enough that would cause me pain or any kind of discomfort. I had some because it tastes good. Now let's see, can I get this to show? Okay, I'm just gonna have to do a whole thing. I already have the sound being captured, so that's good. I just needed to do a window capture then. Okay, let's not make that visible. Because I need to make sure that it's showing the right stuff. I'm also going to link the short as well once it's shown. Okay, let me crop this. But yeah, I'm gonna link this once we show it. I'm gonna link it across all 3 chats that I'm on. Even though I'm done with tech. Hello, Nika team! I see you decided to go to Rumble! One of the good things about Rumble is that you can rewind. Unlike Twitch, you can rewind on here. And also, unlike Twitch, my VOD stays up. But damn, there's so much screen space to crop out. Okay, I think I have a crop now. Let me move this to here. I'm also going to grab the link for it. This way I can link it to everyone. Okay, so here's the link for the short for Rumble. Here's the link for Twitch. And for Kick. If you like it, give it a like. But yeah, so here is a A4 class, a LME or A4 class, this one being Sir Nigel Grizzly, which, fun little fact, is the sister model of the train that we use for the Express. Anyways, let me unmute this.
The LNER A4 class is famous for being the fastest steam locomotive in the world, so you wouldn't expect to see one on a slow and heavy goods train, especially in the age of diesel. In 1982, a BR Class 47 diesel broke down, so a Class 25 was sent to recover it. When it got there, they found that the smaller diesel failed to move the whole train on its own. Just passing by was Sir Nigel Grizzly on a mainline rail tour, which was quickly called to a stop.
Welcome aboard!
The mighty steam engine was coupled up and easily shifted both diesels and the entire train out of the way, then carried on with its rail tour. It seems age really is just a number, and in this case, number 6007 will be remembered for its rather super rescue.
But yeah. Yep. This Thomas? No, that's not Thomas. that is not Thomas. If you want a Thomas character that resembles that train, look up Spencer. Because Spencer would be more appropriate for that type of engine. Because that's what Spencer's based off. He's based off of that type of engine. Thomas, on the other hand, is based off of the, I don't remember what company owned them, but it was a Class E2, I think. It was a E2 tank engine. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for the follow on both Rumble and Keg Maker. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I'm done with Keg because I've just been getting like bot stuff on it. Also, as I said, I have a sore throat for me. I'm gonna get all so I can see to it. We will be live next on Saturday on Rumble and Twitch. And we will be doing Dark Souls. Apparently, I'm almost done with the game. I had a quick gander at how many bosses I have left. Turns out I have like 4 bosses left. One of them I could have found already, but I didn't even know about it. One of them I do know about, and that's the final boss of the DLC. Another one is what we are currently trying to get to. And then there's one after that, which is the final boss. It's literally Dark Souls. Yeah, we're gonna be doing that on Saturday. And I'm also gonna be changing how the display is at least. So like, unless I can get Rumble to also show like Twitch and such. Unless I can get that to happen. I'm gonna be using what the Rumble Studio has available. Cause that can just consolidate all the chats together. And then next week I'm gonna look into expanding to YouTube and X in place of Kick. No, I know Rumble also has a bot problem with the view botting shit. But at least it's not as bad as Kick is apparently. And I don't have to deal with it on Twitch anymore because I sorted that shit out. But yeah, anyways, thank you all for being here. I'm gonna be calling you in like a sore throat. I wanna see to it. Yeah, we'll be live again on Saturday for some Dark Souls. Maybe we'll kill 2 of the bosses. I might actually do that grind over at the painting place. Just so that we can do said bosses. Because I think I can do them, it's just gonna be a matter of me getting good. And I think I've been doing a good job of that so far. So yeah, be sure you check back on Saturday for the next excursion. Anyways, I'm Savvy, the conductor of this express. Thank you all for riding with us and ignore the kick portion of the outro. Have a wonderful night, everybody. If you and enjoy our content, hit that follow button down below if watching on Twitch, Kick, or Rumble. They will let you know when the express is in service. If watching the VOD on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of new excursions arriving. Please be sure to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and join our Discord community. You can find these in the About section and the info bells below on Twitch and Kick, or in the description on Rumble and YouTube. If you want to help support the Express, you all be here is more than enough. However, if you want to help out even more, feel free to drop some bits or a sub on Twitch for Kick and Rumble alternatives. It's available. Alternatively, you can support us through Ko-fi and even contribute to things that we want on our throne wish list. However that you support us, we here at the Express thank you with all of our hearts. We will see you on the next excursion, and have a wonderful night, everyone.
Electric rails light up the night, zooming fast. sparks so bright. Savi's world, a pixel dream. Colors flow, screen to screen. Power up hearts and stars. Riding tracks, sparks flow. She's the master of this channel. Controller firm in her hand. Ride the rails through the light. Express conductor, take flight. Show your colors, game so sweet. Every level can be beat. Glowing worlds at her hands. Bright horizons, tech and sound. Magic voyage all around. Epic journey, pride and bold. Salvage story to be told. Digital heart full of pride. In this world she can't hide. Level up, break through the walls. Every move she stands tall. Pixels paint her glowing way. Through the night and into day. Level up, break through the walls. Every move she stands tall. Pixels paint her glowing way. Through the night and into day.